Wandile, thanks a lot for taking your time to meet me. It's the first time we're meeting. A friend of mine, Ria saw that I'm doing these interviews with entrepreneurs. And he was like, hey, there's Wandile, he's doing great things, and he said, you have to meet this person. And I reached out and you responded and you said, no, you are interested for me to interview you. So thanks a lot.
No.
So who are you?
Thank you once again for that. So to formally introduce myself, Kiwandile Mkhanedi. Right. So I am the founder and director. Yeah, Smart Living Properties.
Wow. So what's Smart Living Properties?
So what we are is that we are a young industrialist company that uses alternative building material as one of our construction methods. So we repurpose shipping containers into various building forms, such as your accommodation, your offices, ablutions, libraries. So it's like literally a substitution of your traditional brick and mortar structure.
And this is interesting. So wait, so you take containers and you like so wait, did you study, what did you study?
So by profession I'm actually an architect.
Nice.
So I've been in practice, I'd say, since 2011. So it's been a while. I've actually been in the space. So of course, when you from Koskolong, you start off designing, the inclusabatu and those type of things, and as time went on, I love what I do. For me, designing is not only just a passion, but it's also been a talent of mine. So I just enhanced it and just turned it into a career. And with me designing all those things, I got to a point where I wanted to be different, because the industry, once you're an architect, also from Koskolong, literally all architects do the same thing.
Yeah, which is, designing apartments.
Exactly. So I wanted to be different. I was like, I think the industry is saturated. Whenever you go to a presentation, you'll probably be like, I'd swear, like more than 5 or 6 of you guys presenting the same thing. And I wanted to be different. That's when I came about. I started researching a couple of these alternative buildings, and that's when I with me doing the research. That's when I came across these things. I'm like, these things are actually interesting. I started doing background checks on it, and and then from there, and this was like 5 years ago.
Sure.
So,
because you're right. A lot of architects, they do mostly buildings, they design homes. But it's the first time I'm also hearing that you can actually take a shipping container into. Normally when you see shipping containers, you just think it's just shipping. You never think it can be. So what led to you? To take a shipping container into an office space or a house? How did you come up with that idea?
To be honest, I'm very passionate about the world. I'm very passionate about our country, firstly, and how things are done. So being in the building space, you wanna see a country get to such a point where you don't want to see a lot of people struggling, right? And so this whole thing, how it came about, it actually came about, how do I find a solution that can assist government to help people have proper housing? That's where the whole thing came about. And with the current model that they have, the RDP, there's backlog. Firstly, there's backlog where a lot of people and right, there's a lot of people who are starting and those type of things. And that's what this whole thing came about. And the first question that I asked myself, like, what is a cheaper, faster solution that can assist government to actually accommodate people who have a need for housing? And that's where the whole thing came about. Initially just for housing. Then me being the inquisitive architect as I am, I started playing around with these things. I got to a point where I came up with such a model that actually works. you know, that can actually be it was cost efficient as well as it was quicker to build, which meaning it would actually help the need that we have currently. You know, but now you see the thing that that I've noticed, being an entrepreneur, as much as we need support, from government into the social, and when I started, it was very disappointing. I must say, it was very disappointing where I did all the due diligence, everything. I went to go propose, and you know, as a business, you come across a lot of hurdles, and I'm sure for the first 2 years, I got like literally all the people, all the financial institutes, or all the government financial institutes I went to, they all shut me down. You know, and you literally go to a dark place, and with that, I decided to say, listen, I as an entrepreneur and me making a difference, I don't wanna rely on government to actually get my business going. I need to think at the first step and start doing something for myself. So all those big plans that I had, I put them on hold, and I started breaking them down into smaller portions.
You know, I love what you said there, that you encountered difficulties, you know, when you were looking for funding from government, and you didn't get it, but you didn't give up. And I think the problem is that a lot of entrepreneurs, when we want to do our businesses, when we look for funding and we don't get it, you know, we just give up, and you know, because there's no funding. But you found a way, you know, and I'm sure a lot of young people will be inspired when they just listen to that. I'm also inspired to say, you know, you don't have to wait for funding. You can take what you have and then start.
I think that all you need in a business, you just need your skill. You just need your skill. You don't need money to start a business. You don't need money to start a business. You just need the skill.
Shucks.
Then just go out there and market your skill. They get you paid. For an example, I'm an architect. If I need to make money, I'm not gonna go to an institute and say, I want you guys to give me funding to go start an architectural firm. No. I can start looking for clients who are like, two-room garage. Start off there. Start off small. Start off like 2-room garage. 2-room garage.
And there are in the township who will say, I would like to extend my house. You know,
that money you're making there. That's something, because are you starting? That's what you need. Then from that person, that's where then that's where you start marketing. And for that personally, I think that a lot of young people, they don't really. I think let me put it this way. I think that with the new age we on right now, a lot of young people, they want quick success. That's the problem. They want quick success. And once you're in business, it's not where it develops over time. That's what people need to understand. You know, and I think also social media plays a vital role in, I won't say like brainwashing young people, but I think there's a lot of pressure where they'll go on Instagram and see this young person driving fancy cars. We don't know what the person did to get those things.
True.
They might not be theirs, or they might be theirs, but you don't know how they got those things. But I always feel when you're in business, look at a business in a way of you're looking to build a legacy, a long-term thing, not a quick thing. And that's where most of them get it wrong. A person would start a business as a register government database, actually B certificate, all those things, and then they sit and wait for tenders to come.
And it doesn't work that way.
And it doesn't work that way. How many people are doing that? How many entrepreneurs are doing that? Where they do all the right things and then they sit to wait for tenders to come out. You know, if I tender your supplier the PPE, if I tender your supplier the school shoes, they're like they're literally everywhere. And I feel as a business, you need to have that core business. You need to focus on what you do. Because the thing is, once your mind is scattered everywhere, I know a lot of people are like, no, don't put your eggs in one basket. You know, because if that fails, but now at the same time, you need to focus on one thing. Because when you focus on one thing, you can be able to enhance it in such a way that you become very known for it. Hence why I decided to venture into containers. That's what I want, and that's what I know, and that's what I'm gonna focus on.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you had the skill, which was designing and stuff. You didn't just venture into containers because you saw someone do it or
No.
you heard about it.
No.
You just registered a business and you just sat down. You already had the skill, and I love the fact that you are encouraging a lot of people that even in the township, someone can want to extend and put a back room, and then you can do that, and then they market you, then your business starts to grow.
That's how it starts, yeah.
You don't have to wait to get 50 million funding,
No.
10 million funding, then you say, no, I have a business, and I remember as well when I was starting my business, I was speaking with some gentleman and he said, just tell yourself that for the first 3 years, you won't really make it. Exactly.
Yeah, very true. That's true.
And I saw that, but when you think of 3 years, like, 3 years. But, but when you're in business, you see that 3 years is not actually, that long. Once you started your business, a year is gone. You're like, what? So I would like to know, when did you officially register Smart Living?
I registered my business at 2018, so 2 years ago.
And then before that,
So before that, I was designing. So I think I was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I started to get into containers, right? I started designing just to learn the skill until I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I think I'm comfortable enough, and I started doing container designs for other companies.
Sure.
Right. Until I got to a point where I'm like, you know what, I was employed, right?
Yes.
And as Nako area, I decided to say employment, it's not really my thing. Deep down inside of me, like Nikki said, I was good at what I was good at my job.
Yeah.
But deep down, I wasn't really happy. As much as I loved what I do, but I wasn't really happy. I was like, nah, man, probably this is not my purpose. And to tell you the truth, I'm 30 now. Throughout my years, I only discovered my true purpose 2 years ago when I started the business. So meaning the whole entire time, I was working, trying to get paid like it's a deal, and I was succeeding, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do or who I am to social. Only 2 years ago, that's when I discovered this. I think this is it. And funny enough, on how I registered my business, I registered my business on my birthday. Right. It's a funny story. Yeah. I was born in January.
Yeah.
January, it's times when there's no money.
Yeah. And people are planning for the year.
Yeah, people try to spend like December. It's only January, and I remember on my birthday, I was in bed, and I think by then I was like, wait, thinking I didn't have money by then. I was in bed. And yeah, I was in a dark place. I was in bed and I told myself, like, listen, one day, I'm going to give myself a present. And for my first present I'm going to give myself is to restart the business on my birthday. That's my first present I'm going to give to myself. And next year, this time, I'm going to have enough money to buy myself a proper present that I always wanted.
Wow.
That's how it started.
Sure. Wow. Some young people, when you get to like 21, 19, 23, you feel like, you see other young people doing well, you're like, ish, now going to like make it.
Oh, yeah.
And you are saying when you got to 28, that's when you discovered it. So it's never too late.
It's never too late.
But I would like to know this. So when you started your business, you had no funding.
Yeah.
You had no money.
No.
So how did you get? Okay. So how did you get your first shipping container to convert it into maybe an apartment, or like how did you do it?
I would say actually our first project that shipping container we actually got last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So meaning for the whole of 2018, it was just marketing. Meaning I didn't get even a single order. In regards to content, I didn't get a single order.
And you never gave up.
And I never gave up.
And look where you are now. I mean, now you've done a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
So within my years, I think I built a good reputation. in the in the container industry. So I got to a point where I was well known within a lot of companies at the container. They used to know who I am. But you know, and the thing about a lot of the container companies, they usually family owned. You know, so even the one that I worked for before, it was a family owned company, and I didn't really see growth. And you know, so that's when I was like, listen, and I always encourage a lot of people to say, listen, if you wanna grow, entrepreneurship is the way. And to be honest, I fully understand our system, our government system, education. You know, from Khale, I'm sure with our parents, it was taught to go to school, go to varsity, go work, retire.
Not to start a business.
No. That's what we were all taught. And I'm sure back in the 90s, we were taught the good success is to be a doctor, a lawyer, to be an accountant. If you were those three, you were sorted. And hence why if you go to varsity, see how many students are studying the same thing and how many of them drop out before they finish their course.
Sure.
You know, because that's how it is. And then I'm not gonna lie, didn't have is what I did. I went from school, which is very important. I must say, and it's very important.
It is important, yeah.
Yeah. So from school to varsity to getting a job, you know, then from there. But now I feel what's okay, things are changing, and the employment rate is very high. And for us to get out of it, we need to start creating jobs for ourselves.
For other young
people.
Yeah.
You know, because we can't all sit back and rely on government to give us work. That's where we're getting it wrong.
So would you advise any young person to get into business? Is it the best thing?
I would say it's the best. If you, you know, I'm not going to say, the thing about business, not everyone is meant for business.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with going to work.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Company.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong to go to work, but you know, business the business also for certain people. They want to go into business. You know, it's not for everyone. I'm not gonna go someone a young person to say it's a business and they tell me as a looking into business because it's not what they want to do. You know, so but for us as a generation to succeed, personally, I feel that entrepreneurship is the way to go.
Wow.
But of course, we all need to start somewhere. We all first need to start from the bottom and work for someone.
And then save and then maybe invest
and
that.
Save, yes.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you said you built a name for yourself. That in 2018, it was all about marketing your business. So you knew that you're not getting in it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
You know, you had to start from the bottom. Can I ask, in terms of the shipping container, where do you get them? Because I'm sure a lot of young people are saying, normally you see them in Devon, you know, by the shipping harbor, but where do you get shipping containers?
Well, actually, shipping containers, a lot of them are manufactured in China, right? So that's where they come from. Then they get deployed to the depot around the world. So hence why in most cases you find the containers go the harbor. Like Durban, Cape Town, so where there's a harbor, there's always containers because that's where they import and export goods. Because most containers they come with ship, those
big ships. Yes.
So actually, the main purpose of the container was for importing and exporting
goods and stuff. Yeah.
That's just that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's where you'd find a lot of them. And once a container, you look at depots, you go Durban or Cape Town. There's also other depots in Johannesburg.
Wow, I didn't know this.
Where they get deployed to Johannesburg. Because when goods come in, let's say Mr. Price about stock here in Joburg. Of course, they're gonna come with the ship, and then from there they need to put on a truck. Then it comes all the way to Joburg, where they take out the goods
with the container.
With the container, because goods come in containers, and once the goods are out, the containers get stored. So instead of containers to go back to Durban, there's cost. So they put it at the nearest depot, which is in Joburg. So hence why most depots you'd find these things stacked very high. Like they just stack containers, they're just sitting there. And For me, that's where I saw
an opportunity.
An opportunity
To buy those shipping containers that have brought goods.
Yes.
Then you buy them.
You buy them.
But isn't it expensive a lot to buy a container?
Well, I wouldn't say it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's reasonable.
You can make profit.
You can make profit. You can make profit out of it. Yeah.
So can I ask? So when you get the container, do you now then look for a client that's looking for an office space, or how does it work? Do you get it and then design and then sell the container?
No. So what we do is that we only do work per order. So what we do is that when a client comes to us and like, listen, I'm looking to do an office or accommodation, we would design it, and once the client gives us an order, that's when we go and purchase the containers.
Oh,
yeah. So we don't purchase them and keep and sell.
Yeah.
Because for us to do that, we need to have money to buy those things.
Buy those things, yeah.
Yeah, we need money. So we need to have money just sitting there. We would just buy and store these things. So for us, it's not really viable as a startup for now.
Yeah.
So how we make money is that we will do the designs, we market it, and market the clients. And when the client says, "No, listen, I'm happy, I like this thing," then we start running with it.
Oh, and you know what I like about shipping containers is that it's easy to move them. Let's say I start my business in Johannesburg and I want to move to Durban.
Yeah.
I can easily put it in a truck and then go
move
and
it.
sit. Yeah, that's one thing that I love.
Yeah.
About and you did say that as well. It's going to help the government in terms of costs. They don't have to worry about building. They don't have to. It's already, the way. Yeah. So, this conversation is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But what would you like to say to young people who maybe are watching this video?
What I'd like to tell them is don't give up. Don't give up if you want to venture into something that you have love for.
Yeah.
Go do that. And one thing I always say to a lot of young people is don't get motivated by money, because you end up losing your way. Get motivated by your passion, because passion drives you. Passion is what wakes you up at night, like what wakes you up to go and run. If you are down and you're in a dark space, the only way to pick yourself up, you need to have a love of what you're doing. And how I usually break it down is, if you can do it for free, if you can do it pro bono, do it.
Don't wait. It must not be always about
money.
Money will come.
Money will come, and as I say, like you just do what you love, and money will follow you. Don't follow money. Tjhelete e ngata, it's
but it's a lot.
It's a lot for you can have all the money in the world. It's too many. It's a lot. So just follow your passion. I think passion is what you need to have, and once you have a passion for what you do, then I promise you the rest will follow.
Nice. So guys, so if you need if you want to build an office, a home, apartments, and you would like to use a shipping container, I've seen his work. It's amazing. He's doing a good job. So if you would like to do that, then please contact Smart Living. We're gonna put the details in the description, their contact details, their email, their website, everything. We're gonna put it there. So thanks a lot for watching this video. From me, your boy Sipiwe Lambata. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos from Favor Media. Thank you so much.